What is going on, fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives Make Money Online Trainer Podcast. And guys, today we're going to be talking about being the smallest fish in the room. Now, before we get into it, I need to release a dog. So I just posted a social proof post, and it's of Janelle Wheel. And if you guys don't know who Janelle Wheel is, she's incredible. She's actually lost 530 pounds now. Her weight loss story started when she was 700 pounds. She literally watched her kid almost get hit by a bus. And then that's when she realized she needed to start losing weight. So in the last few years, she's lost 550 pounds. I just posted a testimonial of Janelle on BMark Fit, and we got some fucking fat shamers that are commenting on our photo being like, how was she a fucking trainer, blah, blah, blah. So if you're listening to this right now, go to BMark Fit's Instagram and go read the fat shamers comments, and please leave your thoughts, because I think it's fucking disgusting that we've got people that literally have no idea what her story is and what she's about.
Dude.
And they're literally shamed. I'm like, you don't even know who the fuck she is.
Ultimately, too, I think it's like Janelle's working her ass off. She's actually going to be doing I'm not going to.
She's doing a transformation show. We'll fucking say.
Yes, because I don't know if it was like under wraps or anything, but it's like when someone is putting their best effort into themselves every single day, like you are not your past experiences. So obviously, like Janelle has a history, and Janelle is also one of the most powerful females I've ever met. Also, one of the kindest females I've ever met. Also, a powerhouse when it comes to online coaching, and also like I would argue super relatable for the girls that have like that weight to lose. Like they don't want to work with me.
My auntie has struggled with weight her whole life, and Janelle is the only personal trainer that she ever hired because she was the only personal trainer that she could relate to, because Janelle went from 700 pounds down to, I think she's like 300 pounds now. She literally has lost 500 fucking pounds. I don't know what the fucking numbers are, but it's wild. And to have people comment disgusting shit on my photos literally makes me want to fucking reach across the computer and punch them in the head. So if you go to BMark Fit's Instagram and leave your 2 cents on that, that would be fucking incredible.
That's all. I will definitely be going there. I will definitely be going there.
Janelle
has my back and I have Janelle's back.
Go to fucking that Instagram and leave your fucking thoughts about that. Anyways, guys, today we're talking about being the smallest fish in the room. Why are we talking about this, babe?
We're talking about being the smallest fish in the room. I think because of our recent trip where we were one of the smaller fish in the room. Like, if you take a look at Brian and I in Kelowna, we have taken over Kelowna. We have the gym, we have like massive businesses, and like we're very well known in the Kelowna area. So a lot of the time it's like us giving that like advice out, which I love. In Australia and in Utah, we were the small fish, and I learned more. I learned so much being down there just by the people that we surround ourselves with.
Yeah, I think that here's what most people do. Most people get into a place where, let's say you want to get into entrepreneurship, not even this, fuck entrepreneurship. We're talking about everything. Be the smallest fish in the room means that you need to be around people that literally make you uncomfortable because of their level of success and whatever it is. And so I'm going to give you, here's what most people do. Okay. Most people are the best in their social circle at what they do. And so as an example, let's say you're into fitness, right? If you're into fitness, you're trying to work on yourself. It's like, you classify yourself as successful if your friends are getting fucked up 3 days of the week and you're only getting fucked up 1 day of the week, right? Yeah. So most people's benchmark of like how well they're doing is based on the people that they're currently hanging out with, based on the people that are currently in their life. And it's like, we can say the same thing about people that are working on their mindsets, right? So if you're trying to work on your mindset, like you're hanging around with somebody that's fucking negative all the time, and maybe you're negative like 50% of the time, you're like, well, I'm negative, but like they're way more negative. So it's like you're judging your personal development based on the people that are around you. And if you're only judging your personal development based on the people that are around you, you will literally never grow into the person that you were supposed to become.
Dude, 100%, 120%. So my perspective on that is like, I feel growing up, I used to always like to be the one that was like doing the best, the one that like the leader of the friend group, right? Yeah. And running like my own business and joining things like Brian's mentorship program, that was putting me in a room. And I've talked about this so many times, you guys. So like, and I also think it's cool when you go from being a small fish to a bigger fish in the pond that you were swimming in, if that makes sense, right? Because I started Brian's math. So it went from like being in high school and always wanting to be the top center of attention, let's go. When I joined Brian's mastermind, it was really weird because at the time I was working at Original Joe's and I was head honcho over there. It felt good. Everyone was listening to me. I joined the mastermind and I really wasn't like, I was small fish, and it was intimidating. And I don't think I had as much, like I wasn't as experienced in like self-development then as I am now to understand that those feelings of like being intimidated and feeling like a smaller fish were actually a huge sign that I was in the right space.
Yeah.
To me, it felt like I should just go back to Original Joe's where I know more, right?
Yeah.
If I would have done that, I wouldn't be speaking to you guys here right now with my business that has over 1,300 clients. And so in the mastermind, I started as a small fish, absorbed all the information that was being given to me, and then eventually worked my way up to be the bigger fish in that pond. And then what's next, right?
Mm.
So I think the best of both worlds, like I think there's always going to be circles where you feel like you're guiding and you're leading. There's going to be friendships where certain situations you're guiding and then your friends guiding in other areas. But I think it's always important to have a balance or harmonious amount of being the small fish,
Yeah.
being the big fish,
Yeah.
and then just being somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I love that. There's a quote that comes to mind, and it was like, you need to have people that are, people that are like below you in terms of like their level of personal development so that you can help reach people up. You can help like lift people up and make people better, which is why I believe in mentorship, so that I can like reach down and help the next person up. So in your fitness like life, if you're a personal trainer, it's like I'm reaching down and I'm helping the next person become healthy. So you need to have people that are like below you on that personal development scale so you can help them climb up the ladder. Then you need to have people that are like on your level so that you can relate with them and resonate with them and do similar things together. And you guys can like connect and like grow together as individuals. And then you need to have people that are above your level so that you're like climbing for that next level and you're trying to become a better person. And that's what I think that that's literally the purpose of my fucking life is like, I was put on this planet to like tap into my full potential and see what I'm capable of and like to see what I'm made of. And I can't tap into my full potential if I'm always being like the big fish.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on something that you said,
I love that.
because below you, beside you, above you. I love that. Kay just said that. I want to talk about something you just said, because I think that the reason that people don't hang out with people that are more successful than them or above them in like the status or the area that they want to grow is because it is intimidating.
It is.
And it's intimidating for me as well. Like it is intimidating for me. I talk about this on my Instagram story, hanging out with somebody like the Dot Muscle on Instagram, who's a super successful entrepreneur. He's got like 1.4 million followers. He was on a TV show. He's got 6 different businesses. He owns FitCon, the conference that I spoke at. It's extremely intimidating when he's like, yeah, come to my house and like have dinner with me.
Oh
and
my
like,
God, yes.
we're at his house and he's got like this like mega mansion at the top of a mountain with 4 helicopters. And I'm like, why do you have 4 helicopters? He's like, yeah, when it runs out of gas, I drive the other one. It's extremely intimidating to be in that room, to like think that I'm not even close to that level. And I love that feeling. I live for that feeling, because that feeling, I'm like, I'm learning here. Like I'm learning his way of life. I'm learning how he moves. I'm learning how he communicates. I'm learning how he talks to people. I'm learning how he connects with people. I'm learning how he lives. And when I see that, when I see how this person moves, it gives me a model for what that level of success looks like, so that I can start aspiring to be more like that.
Dude, I love everything that you said. And I think the key here, if you guys didn't pull this from what Brian just said, is that like, you're not there to be intimidated. You're there to learn. But a lot of people don't look at it like that. So a lot of people are surrounded by people that are quote unquote, maybe doing what they want to do. And instead of opening themselves up to learning, they start to feel jealous. They start to feel resentment. They start to feel anger. They start to feel like, I need to be at the top. I need to be the person doing the leading, doing the talking, teaching people instead of actually being the student for once. And so those feelings of jealousy, which I think jealousy is like, if you don't get curious about what the jealousy is there for, it is like the most ugliest fucking trait ever. It turns people into total assholes. But if you can get curious and be like, okay, so I'm feeling maybe a little bit of jealousy because like this person is living the life that like I've always wanted to live. That is like literally a place that you want to be in. You can't learn to do what you want to do from someone who hasn't done what you want to do. So if you're trying to learn how to be a better version of yourself and you're hanging out with your friends that drink 5 days a week and you're not working with a mentor and you're not surrounding yourself with people that are actually doing the thing, chances are you're going to end up being drunk on a Tuesday night with the 5 circle of friends that you hang around. And like Brian said, maybe you only drink once and they drink 3. That doesn't make it better. You're not learning. You're not putting yourself in a situation where you can elevate to that next level. And we all have that next level we want to hit, right? Like the best of the best has someone they're aspiring to be like, or embody like qualities that someone else has or that they can learn from.
I want everyone to write this down, because I think this is important, especially for those people that are like coaches for others. I might be a leader, but I'm always a student.
I might be a leader, but I'm always a student.
That is the mentality.
Yes.
I might be a leader, but I'm always a student. I have mentors for literally everything. I have a mentor for my YouTube channel. I've got a hypnosis mentor. I've got a mentor for my business. I've got a mentor for my Instagram. I've got a mentor for literally everything.
Yes.
Because although I might be a leader for others and I might be like helping others step into their next level and realize their full potential, I am always a student.
Yes.
And that mentality
Always
is
more to
so
learn.
fucking important when
Mhm.
you're like on a fitness journey, when you're trying to grow your business. That's important for your mindset. That's important for everything. And I've noticed this in myself. I feel like the one thing I was thinking about this today while I was working out at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, there was literally me and 3 other people there on a stat holiday at 4
One
o'clock
being
in the
me.
morning. One of them was her. One of them was my fucking 15-year-old daughter. Thank you very much. And there was one other person in the gym. It was 4 of us.
Yeah.
When there's usually like 20 people at that time. And I literally like looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, the one thing that you have is like a disgusting amount of work ethic. Like that's like the one trait that I know that I have is like a disgusting amount of work ethic. And I put in the work every single day. And I'll tell you why I put in the work every single day, because I've noticed that when I start giving myself too much credit and I start patting myself on the back too much, and I start being my own biggest cheerleader and like looking at all the things that I've done, I'm like, wow, I'm a badass. I'm living in my mansion. I'm driving my Lamborghini. I'm like fit. I'm doing well. As soon as I start giving myself too much credit, I take my foot off the gas from the things that are actually giving me that fucking life in the first place. I stop learning. I stop expanding my mind.
Yeah.
I stop asking for feedback. I stop being a student. And so my mentality is like every single day, I'm going to be consistent and I'm going to take the daily actions that got me the success in the first place. And I think the biggest action that's got me the success in the first place is this like commitment to always being a student. Like I'm always a student. And even with like, I'm sorry, I'm going on a ramble. I'll let
That's
you
okay.
talk a
Go
minute.
fucking get it, baby.
Even with like,
Everyone's here for it.
so I run a program called the $1 Million Mastermind. And inside the $1 Million Mastermind, there's 6 coaches that are making over $100,000 a month. Inside of my $1 Million Mastermind, I understand that like there are coaches that are in the mastermind that are now better at certain skills than I am. And so when I'm struggling, instead of being like, I'm the fucking alpha, I literally go and I ask for support from one of my mastermind coaches that has a better skill set at that thing that I want to embody. So like I might be a leader, but I'm literally always a student and I'm always trying to learn from people around me. And I'm always trying to put myself in environments where people are smarter than me so that I can learn what they're doing.
Okay, so everything he said, you guys, yes, and that's something that I like have realized too. Like I'm always working with a coach. I don't invest quite as much as Brian does in mentorship, but Brian and I are. I feel like I'm constantly like a small fish, but me and Brian are more like a team.
Yeah.
But I feel like I still like I'm always learning from Brian, and there's areas where Brian can also learn from me. But like when it comes to leadership and running my business, I quite literally learn from Brian and Cole, who's our neighbor, on a daily basis. Right? I have a question for you because I think that it would be like cool for people to know. Because I think a lot of people are intimidated by seeing where like you're at, right? Like you're fucking driving a Lamborghini, you have this massive house, massive business, own the gym. How long have you been doing this? Like how long have you been a small fish in a big pond? Like how long, like what age did you start realizing that like you're always a student and you're not top shit? Because I know that you were probably like me when you were bartending, you're like, I'm the fucking shit, managing, like I like own this place, right? Like what age did you start actually really developing?
Great question.
Yes.
22. So
How old are you now?
I'm 31, turning
He
32
identifies
this year.
with age. Yeah.
So here's why. Because when I was young, I had this stupid mentality. And it's not even a stupid mentality. I think it was because when I was a kid, my dad wasn't around and my mom wasn't around. And so I literally had to do everything myself. And so growing up, I kept that mentality. I'm like, I need to get success myself. Right. So I tried to start my business at 20. I don't know if I've talked about this very much on the podcast. It's weird that you asked me this. Tried to start Aesthetic Nation when I was 20. I had a couple in-person clients that I was training in the gym. I was working out with them and then they pay me $100 a session. I'd go to the gym with them. I know you're not supposed to do that. Fucking sue me, whatever. Too bad, Gold's Gym. It was fucking 10 years ago. Suck it. But I would do that. But then my business failed because I didn't have integrity. And so I'd have a personal training session and then I'd go out and I'd drink the night before and then I'd show up the next day and I'd be fucking hungover, or I'd cancel the gym session an hour before because I lacked integrity, because I lacked discipline, because I lacked structure, because I lacked systems. And so I tried to build my business for 2 years. And it wasn't until 23 years old where I saw a girl and her name was Taya Cook. She's still crushing it.
Yeah.
I saw a girl crushing it. She was making $25,000 a month with her online coaching business. She had 100 clients paying her 250. And finally I just shut my mouth and I'm like, I need help. And I DM'd her on Instagram. I'm like, can I please take you out for coffee and can I pick your brains? And she was like, sure. So she met me out for coffee, and I literally brought a fucking notepad, and I was like, how do you run your coaching business? How do you run your check-ins? How much do you charge? How do you sell it? How do you post on Instagram? How much do you post? What do you need to do here? How do you generate leads? What is your application? I literally grilled her for an hour, and then I was like, thank you. And then I went and executed. And I just literally fucking executed for the next X amount of time until I started to see success. Then once I hit a plateau, I was stuck around a certain level. I found somebody that was more advanced than me. Can I pick your brain? And they're like, no, but you can hire me. I'm like, okay, how much does it cost? They told me the price. I hired them. And then I asked all the questions, implemented, hit a plateau, hired the next mentor. That's how it fucking works. And then because I was always advancing and I was always making progress, people below me started asking me questions. They were stuck in a gym and they're like, I don't want to be in my fucking gym anymore. Can you help me? And I had all this knowledge that I'd accumulated by asking up and figuring it out. So I started passing the knowledge down. I started hiring trainers to work for me at Aesthetic Nation. We got the business to a certain level. We had a plateau. I was like, okay, I need to reach the next level. I've hired Taki. And like, I just keep doing that.
Always.
That's
and
what
that
I'm, that's
inspires
like,
me
that's
to do
literally
the
what
same.
I'm fucking doing right now. Like I just hired another mentor for another 12 months. I'm still working with Bedros for 2 more months. And I just hired the next mentor that's at a more advanced station to help me get to the next level. It's like, I'm always fucking doing that.
I love that. And I think like one thing with our podcast that we do, I love for people to be able to like take like actionable advice or at least like be able to reflect on like what we're talking about. So I think a good way you could reflect on this podcast is asking yourself like, where are you the small fish right now? And if you can't think of a place and you think about like the 5 people that you hang around with the most and like the different things that you're doing on a daily basis, and there's nowhere where you're a student and you're learning and you have someone that you look up to and want to ask questions, then where is that place? Like I know for my clients, like inside the Woman Who Win, like you're doing the damn thing. It's the same with your clients inside of the Change Lives Academy, right?
Yep.
Like you're there, you put yourself in that pond. But like if some of you guys are watching or listening to this and you're kind of just like stagnant and you're working a job where maybe like you're the manager and you're kind of just like hanging out with the same friends on the weekends, like where could you not even invest, but like how could you put yourself into a space where you are now going to be the student and you can learn, you can elevate to that next version of yourself because it's always there, you guys.
Dude, and like when I first started my business, I didn't have a lot of money. And so when I did hire a mentor, it wasn't for a lot of money, but it's like I milked the fuck out of it. Like I was like showing up, asking lots of questions. I was inquisitive as fuck. I was super curious. I implemented, I took a lot of action. And like you don't need to have like in order to be in a room, it's not like you need to be rich as fuck. Like when you guys hear me say like I invest $100,000 in Bedros, like the first mentor that I hired, like you can literally join the Women Who Win for like $69 fucking dollars.
And I love that you said that too.
So like the Change Lives Academy is $500 a month.
But I also think too, like when we talk about successful guys, we're not talking about people that make more money than you. Like there's like someone said, I think it was Mariska, who always has such beautiful insight. She's like, our biggest teachers can be our children, which like I learned from Haley as well. So it doesn't mean like when so many people tie success to the amount of money you make, which I think like it can be a part of it because a lot of people that are doing really well are also doing really well financially, but there's different people you can like, if there's someone that's in a really healthy relationship and you're in a fucking toxic ass shitty relationship, you're going to want to go to not to the person that's making a bunch of money for advice on like relationship advice. You're going to want to go to the person that's in a relationship that you feel like is at a level that you would like your relationship to be.
I'm going to shout out somebody. So I actually, that's a good point. When we went to the Dominican Republic, we hung out with our friend Taj.
Oh,
and our friend Taj is like the best dad I've ever seen. He like wakes up 4 o'clock in the morning, goes to the gym for 2 hours, gets home, makes his kids breakfast, takes his kids to school. Once he's done taking his kids to school, he works from like 8:30 to 3 o'clock. As soon as those kids are off school, he goes and picks them up and he spends the rest of the day fully present with those kids, excited to be
fully
there.
present. He
and
is
I'm like,
the most present.
And I learned from that. I like told him that too. I'm like, I literally learned what kind of dad I want to be just from watching you. So it's like be the smallest fish in the room doesn't just apply to money. I agree with that. It applies to like, if you know somebody that's super fucking fit, like ask them to go to the gym. Can we work out together? I want to see what you're doing. Like your fucking booty is 10 times the size of mine or your biceps are like 5 times my size. Please fucking teach me. You're trying to run a marathon and you know somebody that's a runner. Can I go for a run with you? I probably won't be able to keep up, but I'd love to be able to just go for a run with you for as much as I possibly can because I know that being around you is going to make me a better runner. And then this also applies to money. This does. If you know somebody that is successful, try to get around them in whatever way, shape, or form. And like at first, even if you don't have money, it's like if you're like, you know, some like you're trying to be an online trainer as an example, you have $0 fucking dollars, you have $0 in cash. Let's just pretend. I guarantee you know somebody that's online training that's doing moderately successful. So even if you're just like, hey, I know that you're an online trainer, can we like hang out? Can we get on a Zoom call? Can I ask you a couple questions? I just want to like learn. I just want to like pick your brain. I just want to figure out what you're doing. be around people that
Yes.
like are at the level that you want to get to, and like
Yep.
ask them how to advance faster so that
Yep.
you are not trying to figure this out in your fucking head. Like nobody's going to give you a fucking medal for figuring it out on your own. It's not like when you figure it out on your own, you get this fucking trophy and somebody's like, congratulations, you did this
Yeah.
shit all on your own. It doesn't
Yeah.
fucking work like that. So like, I just want to get the result, and whoever has the result, I want to ask them questions so I get there faster.
I fucking love that. And I also think, you guys, when you're asking someone their perspective, you have to remember their perspective isn't the fucking blueprint for you. That's, I think, a common mistake people make. So like when I love having like Cole and Julia as my neighbor. Julia's helped me in so many conversations. Julia's a fucking powerhouse of a female. Like she'll help me in so many. One thing I've really learned from Julia is like how to make like decisions based off like what's actually right, not what's easy. That's besides the point. So with Cole, same with him, like so inspired by Cole, always asking him questions and like utilizing the fact that like our best friends are also fucking smart human beings.
Yeah.
When I ask for their perspective doesn't mean that it's always going to be what's right for me. It just offers me a new perspective. And so what I would encourage you guys to do is like think with your own fucking mind. And so when you tell me something, and like even we were just talking now, you're like, this is what I would recommend that you do, right? So it's not like you have to take everything that people say and take it literally. And one of the things that I will say really helped me get to the level I'm at now is I didn't listen to everything that I was asked verbatim. I took pieces of it and I'm like, oh, this really resonates with me. Like what resonates with me? What sits well with me, right? Because even if it's like, or say you're fucking talking to Bill Gates and Bill Gates says, do this, do this, do this, and do this. But like the three this is like these things, these look really good to me, but this doesn't really align. Like be able to think with your own brain.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
With your own motherfucking brain.
Yeah, it's like when you're getting advice is not a prescription.
No, it's not. Like people, that's another thing too, right? Like people take people's perceptions as fucking facts and they're like, well, this person told me that I'm probably a fucking loser for taking this. So that means that I'm fucking a loser. People's opinions aren't facts.
Yeah.
And also, again, like I think like be careful who you're listening to. Like when I'm taking advice for business, I'm not going to take advice for business from someone that isn't doing what I want to do in my business in their business. Cause that doesn't make any fucking sense.
And it's also, that's the same like advice that like be the smallest fish in the room. Let's talk about fitness journeys for a second. Because personal trainers, or if you're a fitness, you're listening to Kirsten's fitness audience, like when you start a fitness journey, it's so often that you're going to get fucking razzed by your significant other for investing in a personal trainer. You're going to get razzed by your friends for eating fucking healthy meals. But like, look at your fucking friends that are razzing you.
Exactly.
I'm just going to call a spade a spade. If your friends that are razzing you are fucking overweight and they're like, why are you eating unhealthy? They're drinking every fucking weekend. Like ask yourself the question, like, is this a person's perspective that I'm like willing to accept?
Yes.
Or should I go to somebody who is more fit than I am? Like as an example, like I hired my fitness competition, which is coming up in August. I hired Alex Toplin, who's an IFBB pro. He's top 15 men's physique.
Yeah.
If Alex tells me to fucking eat a certain food, I'm eating it. And if I have Joe Blow fucking, on the street or one of my friends, it's like, you shouldn't eat that. You should eat this instead. I'm not going to fucking listen to Joe Blow. I'm going to listen to the fucking person that I hired that's 10 more fucking steps more advanced than I am. And so I think that oftentimes people will take all perspectives as equal, but all perspectives are not equal. Like if you take advice from a broke fucking financial advisor, like you're going to get broke. They're going to give you the same results that they were able to create themselves.
Yep.
You take advice from like a personal trainer who like doesn't fucking exercise or doesn't go to the gym or isn't as like, you're not going to get the results that you want. And so like, I think that it's so important to understand that like not all advice is created equal.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to like, look at the person that you're taking advice from, look at the journey that they've been able to go on and ask yourself if you want similar results as that journey.
I fucking love it. And I really want to drill this point in. Okay. So say you have this moment, you go out and you like are binge drinking for the night. Okay. You're binge drinking, you wake up, you look in the mirror, and I'm like speaking from personal experience. This actually happened to me. You look in the mirror and you're like, I'm so fucking unhappy with how I look right now. So instead of looking for people that are doing what you want to do, you just decide to embark on this journey on your own. Okay. So like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to look up YouTube videos, but you're still hanging around the same people. You're still hanging around the people that drink all the time. I failed so many times because I literally tried doing the thing that I had no idea how to do by myself, continued to hang around with the exact same people, refused to learn from anyone else, thought I was just going to be able to decide that I was going to go to the gym. And all of a sudden, like I wasn't going to drink every weekend, even though I was still hanging out with the people that drank every weekend. So it's the same thing if you're starting the business. It's the same thing if you're starting a weight loss journey. If you're starting a weight loss journey, more things have to change just than your fucking mindset saying, I want to lose weight.
Yeah. Well, here's why. Because when you try to change your habits and you try to change your personality and you try to change who you are so that you can become a better person, you like instantly you're going to level up and your environment is going to resist that because human beings are crabs in a bucket. And as soon as one person starts to advance in a social circle, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to have friends that are like, I fucking am so proud of you. Good job. Keep it up. I see you losing weight. You fucking bad B, or you jack mofo. You're looking amazing. I'm proud of you. You're going to have those type of friends. Then you're going to have the type of friends that start to razz you a little bit. Why are you eating so fucking healthy, dog?
You're boring.
Why are you going to the gym?
Anymore.
You're not the same person.
Yes.
You used to be able to come out with us and party and drink. I don't
Lame.
know why every time we go eat healthy, you're always fucking trying to eat the healthiest option. Like, why don't you just relax a little bit? Have a chicken wing. Two types of friends. That's it. And so like when you're trying to transform your life, that's why not all perspectives are created equal. Like, do I actually want to listen to the friends that are razzing me, or do I want to keep grinding so that I can actually start to change my situation and level up my life?
Yeah. And yes, 100%. And I think like a lot of it, like I actually heard this, I think it was from Dana Bailey. I think I heard this where she said like she did do shit on her own, right? Like she looked up YouTube videos, she did all these things, but I also would argue that she probably had like a very successful, or like had people around her that was inspiring her. Yeah. People that play at that level aren't hanging out around with people that are making shitty decisions every single day of the fucking week. So it's like people that play at that level, which I like, if you guys don't follow her, Dana Bailey is a fucking badass. She spoke at FitCon and like everything she said, I was like, holy fuck, this chick is really cool. So if you guys like my vibe, I feel like she's next level. So I would follow her. She's super motherfucking inspiring.
So guys, and let you know, like, we're going to wrap this up with this. Okay. You should be actively seeking environments where you are uncomfortable because there's people around you that are more advanced. And when I do say more advanced, I do mean that. I'm not saying they're better than you.
No.
As a person, we're all human beings and we're all created with the same fucking mind, body, soul, etc. But like better than you in terms of the area that you're hoping to advance in. So if you're trying to get more fit and healthy, you need to surround yourself with people that are more fit and healthy so that it challenges you to be uncomfortable. Yes. If you're trying to make more money, you need to surround yourself with people that are making more money so that it challenges you and makes you uncomfortable and you feel insecure in the room. You're trying to level up your relationships. You should start making friends with people that have really good relationships that you can model after, or start following people online that are on social media that are like showing you have a better relationship so that you can advance and level up that skill set. Like, you should be seeking environments where you feel like a small fish, because those feelings of being uncomfortable, those feelings of imposter syndrome, those feelings of like, I'm not good enough to be here. Those are the feelings that are going to challenge you to grow into the next level version of yourself.
Dude, I fucking love it. And the only thing I want to add on to that before we wrap up is that I saw a few comments come in as we're doing this podcast that are saying, well, it's hard to find those people. I don't think those people have to be like, I get it. If you're from a small town and everybody's doing the same thing, those people are online. It's a social media account that doesn't post what's wrong with the world, but posts what's right with the world. It's different people that you can connect with virtually that inspire you. Like, that is literally what the Woman Who Win is. It's a group of like-minded individuals. It's where you go to find the friends that you can't find in your hometown where everybody's getting fucked up on a Friday night. So don't think that this has to be your fucking next door neighbor, because a lot of the time it isn't. But I'm telling you that those people that you can learn from, those people that you want to like surround yourself with that are going to make you feel better, they do exist. They are there. But if you're not open to the possibility of finding them, then you're never going to find them.
And I just want to say this. If you're listening to this podcast right now and you're in the Change Lives Academy and you've made friends that are in the Change Lives Academy that were online, then you met them in person, or you made friends that are just like your virtual friends, drop a hell yes in the chat box.
Same with the Woman Who Win. Yes.
So if you've made friends in the Change Lives Academy or the $1 Million Mastermind that you're currently friends with and you hang out with online or in person, you talk to all the time, say hell yes in the chat box so that we can see this. I literally have girls that are in the $1 Million Mastermind and like they met in the mastermind and now they're bridesmaids in each other's fucking wedding parties.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Literally met my best friend in the Change Lives Academy. So like, you don't have to be next door for these people to have a connection with you. Like, you can find these people online and you can find these fish online who are like more advanced than you in certain skill sets or certain areas, and you can develop a relationship with them. And I literally found my bridesmaids in the mastermind. Hallie's tuning in right now.
Dude, it's fucking insanity. And it's the same with the Mariska from the VIP Just dropped a hell yes. We have a community of girls that haven't actually like met and hung out in person, but every Zoom call we did, that's what it felt like. It felt like I'm in the right room. I'm in the right place. So fucking cool. I love this podcast. That was great. So good.
Somebody asked if this is being recorded. Yes.
Yep.
You can find this. This podcast will be up and it'll be on the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast. You can also find it at
Unfucking Filter.
Also, I'm going to do a shameless plug. My YouTube drops at 6 p.m. PST tonight. If you are looking to grow a successful online coaching business, I literally recorded my speech that I did at the Australia event and it's up on my YouTube tonight. It is absolutely fucking disgustingly good. And I know I'm tooting my own horn, but if you watch this YouTube, you will have exact clarity on how to take your business from $0 to $10,000 a month. So 6 p.m. PST, mark in your calendars. It is absolutely worth the watch. Make sure you guys tune in. So if you listen to this podcast and you got inspired and you want to be around the environment of the Change Lives Academy or the $1 Million Mastermind or anything we're doing at PT Domination, DM me more clients on Instagram and I'll reach out to you and we'll have a conversation about your environment, your coaching business, where you're at, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.